Hello everyone, and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 replay cast. I'm your host, Overmind, and today we're going to be watching a PvT up here at the top bit of the map. In red, our Protoss underdog, all the way from the Silver League, we have LMA's Kuupo! And spawning down at the bottom of the map in blue, our terrifying Terran player from Enclave, it's Feral! Enclave, I guess, which I assume is supposed to sound like Enclave, but I'm gonna go ahead and pronounce wrong all night anyway. In any case, we have this nice supply depot going down for our Terran player. And up here we have the pylon from Kuupo. Normally you see the pylon go down a little bit earlier with Protoss players. Often you see it go down at 9, so they can continue producing probes without that supply block hit that they take at 10. But sometimes you do see this if they want to throw down the gateway right away, and if they're going to be a little bit aggressive about it. I do see the gateway as late as 14 or 15 though, often, so that's all in line. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take a quick gas here as well, and go off to scout, so might be air. Could be air. Oh, 2 gas. Probably early air from Kuupo. Excellent. And there's his probe heading off down here. Now we also see that Feral has taken a gas as well, and that could mean a lot of things. That could mean that he wants a mech build, that could mean that he wants Reapers. In fact, if I scouted this and saw that he was mining gas already, I would probably make sure to have a Stalker in case he had a Reaper in my base shortly. You can see that he's going to go ahead and upgrade that command center into that orbital command that we all know and love. This probe is trapped in this base, which is unfortunate, and he tries to hide, but is ultimately going to fail. It is possible that he could get a kill if he microed around a whole bunch, but I think just surviving as long as possible and gathering as much information as he can is going to be his best bet. Second probe going out for Kuupo. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit late for a scout, or too early to scout the front and too late to scout within the main, since he knows about these 2 supply depots. He is heading around this way. It could be a proxy of some sort. Proxy pylon is unlikely, since usually proxy pylons are placed closer to the 3rd. Could be a proxy Stargate. We'll just have to see. Warp gate research not yet going up. He is mining very heavily from gas, so I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a nice proxy Stargate from him. He is going to go ahead and make that Stalker though, just in case of Reapers, or just in case something attacks him at all. So, yeah. Alright. Alright. Over here, on the Feral side of the map, do have another gas going down. We have a pretty quick factory. Often Terran will get a couple barracks and try and apply a little pressure with their bio army if they do wish to go bio. Since we have a tech lab there, we'll likely see siege tanks pretty quickly. It does have a small cluster of Marines. No reactor, no tech lab on this barracks. Very sad. Very, very sad. And a starport coming up as well. It looks like he is going to go ahead and build that siege tank. Have this mothership core and this Stalker up here in case anything tries to run up the ramp, which so far nothing has. And down here we have the proxy Stargate with the Oracle coming up. It's gonna be an Oracle harass. Ah, man, Oracles are so good. Oracles are so good because they are so very fast. They're very easy to lose. They're very fragile, but they're very great for worker harassment and just general harassment and scouting if he doesn't lose it. And heck, vision. They're great for a lot of things. There's the chrono boost. Oracle's gonna head on out. Rallied to not quite all the way across the map, just to here. It looks like Kuupo's gonna go ahead and pick him up and start microing him over. And alright, here comes the assault. Let's see how many kills he gets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And oracles are actually alright against marines. I think that they win over little clusters of marines, so he might have been able to just kill some of those guys off, but I think is making the correct decision in retreating. Looks like Kuupo's gonna go ahead and take his natural, a little faster than Feral actually. Though he is getting quite close to that supply block, and he throws down a pylon right as I'm saying that. Excellent. Now you'll note that his money did get pretty high while he was doing that oracle harassment, so you see that he's spending it here. He's got a forge, couple gateways, pylon going down. Here's a banshee. It looks like Cloak is just finished, actually. He's gonna go ahead and start harassing this natural. And we'll see, are there stalkers? Stalkers are en route, but this banshee has a lot of energy, so a Cloak here is gonna get him some serious mileage out of this harassment on the natural. Here comes the oracle, moving in. Doesn't quite have enough energy for Envision. I would get him in position right now since the banshee can't hit him anyway, but there's the Envision. He is forced to back on up. Alright. Alright, good. Looks like there is another banshee heading out. Since Kuupo doesn't have a robo, it would be good to see him throw down some cannons. Looks like he's gonna get a pylon set up so that he can do just that. Brief supply block for Feral, which he attempts to fix by building more supply depots, and since that is the way you fix a supply block, I imagine he'll be quite successful. Handful of marines, tanks, more tanks being produced, and banshees. This harassment begins again. Unfortunately, it looks like there's not yet enough energy for Envision. And he actually attacked the pylon for a while, it looks like, and now is gonna go on up here and attack the probes, a much more valuable target, but at the same time, it would have been nice to see him finish what he started and kill off that pylon, since he got it down so far anyway. Oh, there's the Envision. There it is. As long as this pylon stays up, there should be cannons shortly, which will help this a whole bunch. Oh, these probes are all down here. Cannons being placed. This one placed a little bit oddly, because he might be able to attack from this side, but that's fine. And that banshee does get taken out. A second banshee coming on in, attacking the probes. Oh, army, get him! Kuupo, get him! Kuupo, get the banshee! He's killing so many of your probes! Oh... 7 kills on the banshee. And there we go, there we go. Between the cannon and the army noticing what's happening, he does finally react to that. Whew. Oh, Kuupo, you're trying to give me a heart attack. Lots of tanks over here. Not yet expanded, which he's probably going to want to do since he does know that Kuupo has expanded. Feral is definitely going to be behind in his macro if he does not, although it looks like he's going to go ahead and try and make something happen here with his army. Looks like Kuupo is responding by building immortals to help with these tanks. He does see this all with his observer, which is good. Probably a pretty smart decision to add on a robo, since he did have all of that nonsense happening to him with the banshees. His army sort of moving around. There's a small engagement here, and then they back up. Probably a good idea. Photon overcharge going down. Gonna force him to face him within the photon overcharge, which is probably the correct decision. And he's fighting right at the edge of the photon overcharge, which Feral might actually just want to let that run out. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and fight here anyway. This mothership core in relatively little danger since nothing can shoot into the sky. None of these units have the willpower to shoot at a mothership core. This is all probably going to go down. This banshee running on into the main. There are cannons here, so if this cannon can cover this attack, which it does, it's all going to get cleaned up. Oh, wow. Alright. I want to look at the army supply here. Favoring Pharaoh, but not a lot. Both of them don't have very much. Worker supply about even. Some scans going down by Pharaoh, checking for sort of third expansions in the common places. Pharaoh himself having finally just established his natural expansion here. Doesn't have anything mining from it yet. There we go. The Stargate not really producing anything as yet. Looks like we have a Twilight Council coming on up for Kuupo, which either is going to mean that he's going to try and tech into Archons and maybe some High Templar, or that he just wants Charge and Blink. Looks like that Observer did just get taken out with a scan, although that does mean one less mule for Pharaoh, which in its own way does hurt him, since he will be losing out on those sweet, sweet minerals. Kuupo probably should go ahead and expand here. Go ahead and add on some, oh, there's a Banshee, who's gonna get taken out very promptly by cannons. Excellent. Probably should add on some refineries and go ahead and expand, since he has actually a decent amount of money here. You'll note in the Structures tab, he has 1 Robo, 1 Stargate, and 3 Warp Gates, which you can just barely see under the nameplates. And 3 Warpins is not going to consume all of this money. Even if he produces off of his other 2 structures, he's probably not going to spend it all, so he should really go ahead and expand, because spending your money is the way you win. Does have an Observer going out. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. The Zelnaga Tower does not activate for Observers, which is very sad in its own way. We have some missile turrets up here. He's got to be careful with this Observer. I would really like to see him scout. Yeah. Oh, no. Really like to see him scout for third bases or hidden bases. I'd actually like to see both of them scout for third bases and hidden bases, since Pharaoh hasn't found this nice proxied Stargate, which is now producing a Void Ray for Kuupo. And I don't think anyone has seen over here yet, so if you have a hidden base over there, you would be very set, but neither of them do. More Marines being made, more tanks set up at the front. Nothing really being produced out of the starport just yet. No reactors or tech labs on any of these barracks, because that's, that's for noobs. And more importantly, because Pharaoh is pretty broke. If you look at his minerals, you can see that he has just over 100 minerals and about 1,000 gas. So really he's going to want to go ahead and upgrade this to his orbital and do his mule thing. And probably move some of his workers on back up here, since there are still minerals to be mined in his main. And he has all of them down at his expansion for some reason. You definitely want to move your workers such that they're sort of evenly distributed for optimal mining. Void Ray has slowly made its way all the way on up to Kuupo, who is... Oh, is he gonna expand? Yes! That's my boy Kuupo. Awesome. So you definitely want to expand. When you expand, you often want pylons around that expansion so that you can warp things in nearby it, but that's fine. This is a good first step. More bases is more better. Looking at the army supply again, you see that the worker supply is strongly favoring Pharaoh with 6 additional workers, while the army supply is strongly favoring Kuupo with 61 to 47. Scan goes down here. So Pharaoh probably knows that he has a lot of stuff, and it might not be a great idea to engage this, necessarily. It would be nice to see Kuupo make some more probes. Just constantly making probes is really a good key to a strong economy, and it's going to help him saturate this base quickly, which will help make it all the more worth it. It's certainly worth it to expand here, but if he can quickly start mining from it and start using it, it's going to be even that much better. His pylons are going down, so he can warp things in close to this base, and this base is coming on up. Good. Still no orbital from Pharaoh. You really want to upgrade your buildings. Even making a planetary would be better than just leaving it as nothing, although you don't want to make planetaries on your natural. You want to go ahead and have orbitals for those mules. Still not enough workers mining on over here. Even though the minerals are starting to get smaller, even though the mineral patches are going down, you still could have a decent amount of income from these. Farrell's still pretty broke aside from that gas. There come the mules. Looks like workers are going to be transferred over to this base here. Yep, there they come. Here come the probes! Excellent. Still could probably leave some more workers up here and simply continue making workers. Both of them sort of have this problem where they definitely want more workers, and it would really help them. But see that this base is well on its way to being filled out with that optimal 16 for mining. We do have some scouts heading out for Farrell. Single Marines heading on out. Check things out. Looks like this one is going to find that proxy Stargate. And he's gonna do something about it? Yes. He's gonna go ahead and kill that pylon so I can't make more things, which seems like a pretty solid plan. Kuupo's army moving on in. Pylon gonna go down here to reinforce any attack that he might make. And really Farrell should know about it because I saw him kill a Marine on his way over, so he should know that this army is active. This Marine is gonna run on in here, but likely probes will be able to kill him off anyway. Maybe not. No. Alright. Alright, should be good. Oh, no. Kill him, probes, kill! There we go, that's better. This army is gonna start moving in. I guess he's fine with the Marine taking this out. He's gonna go ahead and take out this third, which is really bad for Farrell, actually, because he's been broke much of the game. He does have protection here, so those Banshees don't do too much. Lots of damage going down on both sides. These Vikings gonna do a lot to these Colossi, though. Colossi doing a lot to the tanks. Mortal doing a lot to the tanks. Everyone's killing everyone. I believe that Farrell might be on top coming out of that, but if you look at the army supply, you see that it's really not that different. 36 to 46 is certainly a lead for Farrell, and that might have been good for him, but he did lose that third, which means that he's going to be economically behind. There have been several more warp gates placed down for Kuupo. Oh, Banshee harass. Alright, Kuupo, you can do this. Move something with detection over. Move the probes away. Something. You can do something. Cannon is being put down. Alright, probes are being moved away. Stalkers are here. Don't let them kill those Colossi. Alright, so if your workers are being harassed, feel free to move them away from the offending unit. And he's able to chase off that Banshee. Farrell, with this single Marine, is going to go ahead and try and kill off this unpowered Stargate. And re-establish his third, which he very desperately needs. Does have a few minerals here, but you can see that this gas geyser's mined out, so those guys aren't doing anything, and this base has been way oversaturated for a long time. Back here, this base is establishing itself, although you note that it still doesn't have that 16. We do see a probe being made now from each of these, but if there's something that Kuupo could work on, it's just remembering to make these probes as often as we possibly can, because a strong economy is the backbone of a healthy army. Gonna go ahead and add on another Colossus here. Could be building them 2 at a time, except his minerals are getting low, which is just a sign that he needs to go ahead and make sure to expand and take advantage of all of his workers. Keep building them probes. Feral's food is getting awfully high. If you look at the army supply, we have a very, very strong lead for Feral, and even has more harvesters, which is to be expected from a gold player. You see that these mules are going to help out a whole lot, and now that this base has been established, it's going to give him a flood of minerals to make more and more units. He does have a little bit of a supply block going on right now. Looks like some zealots are going to run on in from one of those proxy pylons and kill off some of these. The reaction time is fairly quick, though. Oh, keep moving them away, Feral. Feral, run! Run, Feral! Okay. Okay. That should be fine. That one Marine did eventually kill off that Stargate. This base is going to continue mining. Really want to go ahead and recommend that you upgrade these into orbital commands for the mules, because you will have a whole bunch more mules, which is always good. You always want more mules. Kuupo going to go ahead and expand again. He's probably running out of minerals at his other bases. See the main's almost mined out. The natural's getting kind of low. He definitely still wants to continue to make probes, which it looks like he is doing right now. Scan goes down. Feral's gonna go ahead and kill off this pylon here. Probe transfers being done. Looks like both of these proxy pylons were cleaned up. Feral's gonna go ahead and he finds that fourth base. He's gonna stop that pylon. He doesn't want any warpins. There is another pylon here, but that's fine. It's A for effort. These banshees are cloaked, but they're not doing anything as yet. Oh, here it is. Fortunately, he's going to lose them to this stalker army here. And rushes into the main base. Gonna go ahead and kill off these pylons, which is actually not a terrible idea. Since there are only, I believe, 3 powering these warp gates. Here are the Tempests. Protoss air. Tempests are gonna go ahead and take a few pot shots at their own pylon, just in case they need to kill off more pylons. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. You'll note that the food count has sort of equalized a bit here. This army hanging out around the 4th. Looks like Feral is going to go ahead and move out. This could be a pretty big engagement with both of them getting closer and closer to being maxed. Kuupo actually taking a slight lead right now. There's a scan. Feral making sure that Kuupo doesn't see him sneaking up from behind. But of course the range on those Tempests is actually pretty gnarly. And all of those Marines are torn through by the staggering Colossus count. And it looks like it's all gonna come down to air. And it looks like Kuupo's winning this one. Pretty one-sidedly, actually. You'll note that the food count for Feral has dropped significantly. He's now up 86 versus 159. I'll go ahead and bring it up, because I can. Worker supply is about even, Kuupo finally surpassing Feral just a little bit, but the army supply heavily favors Kuupo. In fact, what Kuupo should do right now is just go attack. Attacking would be the thing that I would do if I were Kuupo. And this army is going to wiggle itself about a little bit. Very small number of banshees here, which should be able to kill off pretty handily. Since the banshees decide to engage directly, which is probably not the best idea. 4th base is up for Feral at this time. Gonna go ahead and throw down the gas geysers there. You'll note that he is climbing up in food pretty quickly. Feral has reached 110 at this point from 86 in just a few minutes, so he does have the infrastructure to build things. He doesn't have a lot of minerals, but you see that he is muling at this newly established base. Definitely could learn to move his workers around a bit better. See that he is mined out here, and just about mined out here, so he has all of his workers at this third base, and in comes the army. We have Mothership cloak on all of the Colossus. We have those workers dying by the dozens. We have the third base crumbling apart and exploding. Those workers are going to go and move on over to the third. There's an attack at the front, though. I don't think that he can hold this off. Looks like these tanks are going to go ahead and get taken out pretty quickly. This is just a massacre. This one tank right here at the top of the ramp. This army's just going to go ahead and steamroll over Feral's base. And no GG? No? Well, that's fine. You know what? I actually really enjoy staying behind and killing off all of my opponents. So this is good. This is probably really fun for Kuupo. Enjoy that victory. Yeah. Alright, a single Viking coming on out. You have a lot of patience, my friend. And sometimes patience is what you need. Very good. Very good. So have you, smiley face. See, look, they're friends. War has brought them together. Lots of smiley faces going down, and then finally the GG. And there it is. Oh, no, winky smiley face with a see ya. There we go. And there it is. And Kuupo stays for a few more seconds just to make sure that he thoroughly kills the main. Excellent. Kuupo, expect a promotion sometime soon, because if they're putting you against gold players and you're winning, it means you're doing well. If I have anything to say about this game, it's to pay attention to your macro and your workers, because making probes constantly and making sure that your SCVs are properly distributed are really going to determine whether you have an economic advantage or disadvantage, and give you an edge if you're pretty even with your opponent. Few quick announcements. If you would like me to cast your replay, feel free to send it to noobcrafted@gmail.com. Zukaman is having his tournament on June 28th. If you email him at zukaman900@gmail.com and tell him your race, your league, and your account name, you will be eligible to play in this tournament. Sounds like it's going to be a good time, so anyone who's interested in tournament play, go ahead and check that out. I am going to be doing a series of videos for bronze through gold, videos about how to improve your gameplay, and if you would like to submit a replay for that replay analysis series, please feel free to go ahead and send it to my email. Again, that's noobcrafted, noobcrafted@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a good night!